what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to, of course, yet another episode of Sa3 Tv. Just before I start, just want to say I hope you guys are safe and doing well, and I'm literally only 7 subs away from hitting 200, so make sure to smash that subscribe button. Right, I do have some updates about the mod, well, the mod I did put in yesterday on my Audi S3. So as you guys have probably, well, I hope you've been watching my videos ago, I talked about my induction kit. So going stage 2 eventually, I talked about putting an R6, so a Raceline R600 induction kit in. I've now installed my R600 induction kit, and this car feels a heck of a lot different. And I was speaking to the guy that actually sold me the R600 induction kit, and he actually installed it on his TTS, sorry. He goes, it makes a massive difference. So I want to tell you guys something. So before I got my induction kit, I was having issues with my S3. Never really spoke about it, but I didn't really think it was a major problem. So when I would plant my foot to the ground, my car would seem to hesitate, and it would like kind of feel, the car feels like it wasn't breathing right, and that would really mess up the performance, the power. It wasn't as responsive as I was expecting. I mean, don't get me wrong, this thing is quick, it's responsive, but it wasn't as responsive as I was expecting, and it kept choking. And I thought, oh no, it's a gearbox, because Audi gearboxes, I'll be honest with you, sorry Audi, but they're not exactly great. You have to map them, and I was expecting it to be the gearbox, but it really wasn't. It was the car. The car wasn't breathing right, and it just wasn't great. Let's just see, 70 miles here, so. Bloody hell, sorry about that. This thing moves! It's ridiculous! And that's not, it's not even exaggerating. The windows are closed because it's hot and I've got the AC on. Like I was saying, the induction kit. So I installed the induction kit. The car feels totally different. It runs smoother. The throttle response is 10 times better, and I can feel the car breathing better. It feels nicer. It feels nicer to drive. So let's just talk about the car when it's in just drive, not sport, but just drive. So with cold start, it's strange because with cold start, it's really loud, but you can also hear the hissing too. And I've checked all the so the hose and stuff, that's fine, so that's normal. But when the car's nice and warm and I'm driving it, it feels really smooth, and I love that. I genuinely love that about this car, especially with the induction kit now. As it improves the performance and the overall drive of the car, it just feels nice, and that's what I love about this thing. But I'm not going for nice. I'm the Audi S3. Everybody look at me. I'm nice and loud and fast. That's what I'm going for. That's my guilty pleasure. If you watch my previous video about the GTI, and I was talking about, yeah, it's true. The S3 is a car that attracts a lot of attention. The car's personality is all about everybody look at me now. I'm nice and loud and fast, and I've got 4-wheel drive. That's it. And that's what I'm aiming for. With this induction kit, the one thing I don't seem to like is the hissing, and you're probably thinking that's like the biggest thing that everybody likes about induction kit is the hissing. The hissing, for me, I just have to get used to it. For me, it's all about. Sorry, I just had to take over there. So for me, I like the noise of my exhaust, as you just heard now. And when I'm driving, you can hear the hissing, even when the windows are closed, louder than the exhaust. I'm not sure if I'm hearing things or not. Well, I'm exaggerating, I don't know, but that's just what I'm getting from there. But as far as I know, this is probably the best, probably the second best mod I've done so far with this car. First, obviously, is the custom downpipe, but the second is the induction kit. And going on to the point where the car was choking and it wasn't performing that well, it wasn't performing that well, and it really worried me, and it concerned me a lot, because I thought that the DSG, the gearbox was slipping, and I can't afford that now. It's not, you know, it's a complete big headache, and it's just going from one story to another. But the problem was the car wasn't breathing. And the thing about when you're tuning your car, I'm not an expert on tuning cars, but I know my stuff enough to know, right, what I need to do. And the issue I had with this car was the fact that I was modifying it, I was doing all sorts of stuff with the stage 1 map and the custom downpipe, but I didn't think about the breathing of the engine. And that's one of the most important things about a car. The induction kit is one of the most important components when it comes to tuning any car. If you're going to tune a car, you have to have an induction kit. The more power, the more air that needs to go in is pretty much the concept of tuning a car. So now the S3 is breathing better, it performs better, it definitely sounds better, and it's way more responsive. And that's pretty much the first step also with going to stage 2. So I hope in the next 2 months or so, I should be ordering my intercooler. So that's the second topic. I don't actually know which intercooler to order. So I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to tell me, right, what's the best intercooler on the market? Tell me. I want to know. Because obviously you guys watch me, you know that my target is 500 brake for this car, but I want to know, right, what's the best in the market? I've got a couple in mind, but it's always a 50-50 because I don't want to be the same as everybody else. And I understand the Raceline R600 induction kit, every person who owns an Audi or VW that's tuned has got one. But the R600 induction kit is the best of the best, and I only want the best of the best for this car. And I want to hit 500 plus, and I will eventually, but I want the best stuff. So R600 is now in the bag, now fitting in the car. Now next is the intercooler, which for me is going to be a bit of a headache because I don't actually know which one to get. So that's my only issue at the moment. So, and obviously I will be going stage 2 very soon, and I want to get to stage 2 very soon. But it's just about finding the right things for the car. I'm happy that the car is breathing right now, and that's what matters the most. That's saved me a lot of time, it saved me a lot of headache, and that's what it's about. It's about getting the main components in so the car can breathe right, can perform right. But I'm not going to push this car to its barrier at stage 1. I can't do that. It's not worth doing that. But once I hit stage 2, it's going to be a complete rocket. That's pretty much all for today. I thought I'd just give it a quick little video for you guys on keeping updates in terms of what's going on with my Audi S3. I hope you guys are well, stay safe, make sure to like, subscribe and share. Thank you.